Alrighty, day 4, last of the new key features, and then tomorrow we have a quiz on them, so hopefully you are ready to go and doing all that homework, getting everything done. So we are now going to talk about positive and negative and end behavior. Okay? So end behavior is pretty simple, not always simple to write, but simple to talk about. Basically, it's just what's happening as my graph goes to the right. Well, in cases where it stops, we look what y value is it going to. Well, it's going to 9. Okay, so I would say when going right, graph goes to 9. Then we do it left. When it's going left, where's it going to? Well, in this case, because it stops, it's going to 8. So, when going left, graph goes to 8. Okay, and that's all you have to write on those ones. Now, when we deal with linear or exponential, so if I've got a linear straight line that's going, this would be more when we use it when we have continuous ones that keep going and don't stop. So in this case, as it goes right, it would be going up to positive infinity. When it goes left, it would be going down to negative infinity. And then when we're dealing with exponentials, right, remember those exponentials have those asymptotes where it never crosses. So in this case, as it goes left, it would be getting closer and closer to 0, which would be the asymptote. And when it's going right, it's going up to positive infinity. Okay? So that's all end behavior is. So let's take a look at all the end behaviors and go with those ones. So, number 3, as we go right, where are we hitting? We're going to a y value of 2. So, and we can probably abbreviate this to just write right, and then an arrow, and then either the number or where it's headed. So 2. And as we go left, it's going to that point, which is negative 4. Number 5, as it goes left, it's going to that, which is positive 3. So left goes to positive 3. As it goes right, now this one, because we have the arrow, this one keeps going. So it's going up, which we call positive infinity. And that's all there really is to end behavior. Okay. Now, with dealing with tables, it's a little bit tougher. So we've got to find the furthest left point and the furthest right point. So the more positive, bigger number, that's going to be the right. So right goes to 6. Left is going to be the smallest negative number. So left goes to negative 4. Yeah, negative 4. No, that's the x value. We want the y value. It goes to 5. Okay, number 9. So our smallest number is negative 1. So that's left. So left goes to 25. 6 is our biggest number. So as it goes right, it goes to negative 10. Okay, and the last end behavior one. So now our smallest number is negative 3. It's not at the top of the table, so you got to pay attention to that. So as it goes left, it goes to 22. And as it goes right, once again, 3 is our biggest number, goes to 28. Okay? So that's end behavior. When we deal more with those continuous functions that go to negative or positive infinity, that's really when we use end behavior more often. Especially as we get to higher levels of math, that end behavior becomes more important. So, but this is just kind of to give us a heads up, get us started on the end behavior stuff. Okay? Now, we're still using intervals. So, we're going to do positive and negative. I'm going to erase this for space. Okay? So, remember, once again, we've got our football field, right? And we've come to find out that, doesn't matter on a football field where you get tackled or pushed out of bounds. Okay, it's that yard line that matters. Okay, just like with the intervals. Our intervals are the yard lines. Okay, so positive is simply when it's above the x-axis. That was supposed to be an arrow. so above x-axis, negative when it's below. And I don't know why I didn't use an arrow for that one, the x-axis. So essentially when the y value is positive or negative is what we're looking at. Okay, so to help us find the places where it changes, if we think back to Monday, we have those x-intercepts. That's where they're going to be changing. Okay, so I can see I've got two x-intercepts here. Okay, so negative would be below right here. So from that x value of negative 4 to the x value of negative 1, it's negative. Now when we look everywhere else, okay, as we go to the right, up to here to 8, okay, so from negative 1 to 8, it's positive. But that's not the furthest left, is it? Getting a little ahead of myself. So at negative 8, it starts out being positive until it gets to negative 3. Okay, or negative 4, sorry. Trying to hustle a little too fast, aren't I? So from negative 8 to negative 4, it is where it's above the x-axis, where it's positive. Then it jumps that negative portion and starts up again at negative 1 until it gets to 8. Okay? And that's how we have it. Okay? Now remember, that interval notation is just the x values. Okay? We're just dealing with those x values. Alright. So, let's see where we have some positive spots. So if I look here, looks like I've got one positive spot, and all these are negative. Now because of those gaps, I can't just start here at negative 4 and go all the way to 4.5. That'd be nice, but we can't do that. So I go negative 4 to 0. There's my first interval of negative. Then I jump a spot, but I'm still negative. Technically the x-intercepts aren't negative, but we're not going to worry about that right now, okay? We'll use them still, claiming they're negative. So then we go from 1 to 3. That's negative, so 1 to 3. Then we jump again in this last spot from 4 to 4.5. Alright, so then positive is simply 4.5 to 5. So just a little itty bitty spot. So 4.5 to 5. Alright, and there's our positive and negative right there. Alright, number 5, same thing. Start out here at positive at negative 6. We go to negative 4. So there's our first interval of positive, negative 6 to negative 4, because we just deal with the x's. Now I know I'm going to be jumping up positive again, so I'm going to do my little jump. But now I switch to negative, and this part of the graph is negative, from negative 4 all the way to positive 4. So negative 4 to positive 4, and now I'm done being negative, so I jump back to being positive. Now, I keep going until we're hitting the end zone, right? So we start at positive 4, but now I'm hitting that end zone, and that end zone we call infinity, right? So infinity, and then I try to remember to use a parentheses with infinity. So there's how we do it on a graph, positive and negative. Now let's look at a table. So a table, it's the y values, right? If the y values are positive, the graph is positive. If they're negative, they're negative. Looking at these, they're all positive. We don't care about the x's if they're positive or negative, just the y's. So it's positive from the start to the end. So from negative 4 to positive 2, and I might be throwing you off by using red, which normally is negative. Okay, now it's never negative, so you can write never, or we call this the empty set, just blank parentheses. Okay, sometimes you may see that. Alright, number 9. Okay, we look here, now we see, okay, we are positive right here, negative right here. So from negative 1 to 4, we're positive. And then from 4, because it's the x-axis, down to 6, we're negative. Okay. Alright, now number 11. So, Once again, these are all positive. So we go from -1, -3 to +3, right? I forget about this table. Throw this off. So -3 to +3. And negative is never, or that empty set. Okay? So this one was actually pretty short, wasn't it? So, yeah. I guess you guys will have some more time to work on the homework this time. Hopefully you've been keeping up with the homework. So tomorrow we're going to have a quiz. Okay? You are going to be given a graph and a table. Okay, one of each, if I remember right. Okay, you're going to have to tell me all the features of each. So what's more to remind us? X-intercepts, Y-intercepts, maximums, and minimums, right? Those are all points. So an x-coordinate and a y-coordinate. Okay, we are also going to do our intervals, right? Which is an x-coordinate and another x-coordinate, usually left to right. And that's domain. And not range, because range is slightly different. Increasing, decreasing, positive, and negative. Okay, range is still an interval, but it is the lowest y value to the highest y value. That's the one that's different with intervals. Okay, so we have those intervals, and then we have the other crazy ones. So we've got our rate of change, which is a fraction. Okay, with the rise over the run, the y values over the x values. They often call it delta y over delta x, which means the change in y, that vertical movement, over the change in x, that horizontal movement. Okay, and we also have our end behavior, don't we? And our end behavior, right, tells us as we go right what's happening to our graph, and as we go left what's happening to our graph. Where is it approaching? Is it going up? Is it down? Is it a number that it's approaching? Okay, same with left. Up or down, positive or negative infinity, or a number. Okay, so make sure you understand how to find those. Now, the ones that should be the easiest are these ones right here. Okay, they should be easy to deal with. The intervals might be easy to see. Typically, they're a little bit harder to write, but hopefully you've had plenty of practice, and so you're ready for Friday. If you've been doing all this work, you should be ready to go. Okay, and behavior is pretty simple too, and I've given it to you in an easy format. It gets pretty crazy. They start writing it like this. This is more calculus style. The limit as x approaches infinity, f of x equals positive or negative infinity, or a number. And the limit as x approaches negative infinity of f of x could approach a number or something else. Okay, limits are more calculus based, but all this is saying is, as it goes right, does it go up, down, or to a number? As it goes left, does it go up, down, or to a number? But that's just a preview for like Math 3 when you're juniors, so you guys will be ready to do that already. But what I want is the understanding of that end behavior. Okay? So, get to work on this homework. If you guys finish the homework and finish it completely, go back and watch any of the videos that anybody needs. If you have time, hand it in. And if there's a lot of time left, and for our guest teacher, I'll make sure these are in the notes, you can start on the Friday's assignment. And then just leave it here at class, and then pick it up tomorrow, finish it, and then you'll take the quiz after you do the assignment. Now, if you're slow, you may not finish the assignment, but you'll still have to take the quiz. So we'll kind of go from there. So, you guys know what you're doing, so let's get to work and get some stuff done. Catch yourself up. If you have any other missing work, by all means, work on that. Just don't mess around and be annoying. Get some stuff done, okay? Here's a chance for you guys to get quite a bit done. So help each other out. If you need help, ask questions, all that stuff. Ask the guest teacher if they need to play back any other videos, any of the notes, any of the homeworks, anything like that. They'll all be up on my website, You can check them out at home, or you can take a look at them when you in class, depending on how much time you have. All right? There you guys go.